impressed because you guys came here for 1 hour asking questions and understanding our true problems, and went back, and within 2 weeks you guys came up with not only presentations and great suggestions and solutions, and also built that prototype. We know how hard it is, so you guys work really hard. So really impressed with that.
I thought it was very useful. I was surprised, like I mentioned in the presentation, only about an hour of our time, with a bit of time spent on answering follow-up questions, how they were able to take that and get into quite a bit of detail on particular subjects. Double diamond process, as we call it, the design thinking. It was interesting seeing them take the content and information we were able to provide, work collaboratively, put sticky notes, and build that kind of collaboration and innovation in terms of their thought process, which ultimately articulated a nicely presented presentation of their thoughts and recommendations. So yeah, I think it's really valuable, and I would recommend it.
I think there was a lot of value to both sides. The participants in the program, I believe, they got exposure to our issues or the problems that we are grappling with. And we were able to share that information with the participants, and they went away and they used their brain power and they came up with fantastic ideas. They're very, very creative. That was great. I was really impressed with the app because that is something I can see happening here.
I thought the participants pay a lot of attention and care to what they're doing. They seem engaged in the process. I've definitely been impressed with the presentations that the 2 groups I work with presented. Definitely being involved in these presentations when, obviously they're going to point out shortcomings of the company, so if anything, it's taught me to be patient and stay calm. Which I think is important. You're not always going to like what you hear, and if they're just only telling me what I wanted to hear, I don't think they'd be doing their job. And I think they've mostly shown some courage by coming here and saying, oh, I think you should do this, I think you should do that, even knowing it could be hard for me to hear it. No, just I enjoyed the whole process. It's been good. Yeah.
I would say not just useful, I would highly recommend this. Recommend that the government adopt this program. The concept itself, I think it will help certainly the immigrants, the new immigrants like me, in adjusting easily to the labor market.
It is a great experience. I think that you get to work with companies, real companies, and with real cases, real needs. And also you get to work with team members and people in the same group, and you learn, to create the team environment, which is excellent, which is really wonderful, and then you can use that skill later on in the workforce.
And the main advantage of this program is that everybody is connected to a real-world company project. So I recommend it to people who want to have a real-world problem-solving experience.
I think it's a very significant program, given the fact that most of the newcomers in Canada face the challenge of acquiring their initial Canadian work experience. And this program really helps them to translate their skills into Canadian market, into Canadian context, right away once they go through this program.
Design thinking has really taught me how to think beyond your scope, and not necessarily that not to be caged in the profession you are in, but somehow to be interdisciplinary.
I learned so many stuff. I can say that it collects my knowledge from my backgrounds all together in one path.
The program is very good. I find it very useful. Despite I took some courses before, it's very useful for me. So I'm very glad to participate.
When I started here, I learned so many things I didn't know it before with my 23 years experience.
This program is very useful. It's because this is it's a new way to find the solutions, how to deal with the problems.
I thought this program gives me a lot of opportunity to experience real Canadian workplace.
When I first came in, I was this in the Philippines back home. And then when I came in, even if I can speak English, it's sort of like a different environment. So I felt insecure and then sort of like unhappy. And then I felt I cannot do a lot of things, So I think the most important part is to give back the self-confidence of people.
I think it's an interesting opportunity to work with an actual employer, an employer that can give you good references. It's an actual opportunity to show what you can do, how you do things, and just to show your real qualities. So not be as someone that is new to the country and has no experience, but to show that you are a professional and you can do a lot of stuff.
I believe this way to solve the problems get the great business values to our customers that could be very helpful in my future to solve the problems.
Much more better than the other program. I have been in other program and I think it's better. I think it learn us how to work in Canadian culture and Canadian workplace.
Of course, people need some information on the other kind of workshops, the interviewing, the resume. But there are a plethora of such training courses. But this is a unique course where it gives us the opportunity to speak to employers and start our networking, basically.
This is a huge experience for me, and teach me how I can logically analyze and design my thinking in the right way to discover the problems.
Useful everywhere in your career or in your personal life. So this doing something that was not related to my experience and providing a service now was really satisfying, so I would really recommend for newcomers to do this.
For me it was very, very successful. It teach me new techniques, how to think, how to have the concept and now to go to the solution.
This course was very useful to me, and I think any small practice and any aspect of this experience that we have here should work in our professional job and professional life.
I think that this one was amazing. These 3 weeks, I learned a lot. When you ask me, what did you experience? I say, I'm so happy, I'm so proud about Mosaic, about Canada, about me, because I expect that and I got it. Thank you.
The government provided many programs for newcomers, but no one is similar like this. And this program actually, for me, I learned more than I expected, and it's quite fit for newcomers.
This project should be amplified, should be magnified, should be expanded in different communities, different immigrants, and so that everyone comes here, takes this course, design his own life, design his own thinking, so that he can be a peaceful person to have another dimension of life in Canada.
The first people who I recommended to my daughter, to my husband, and to my close friends, and told them, if you complain about your area after 5 years, after 3, because you don't know anything about designing, thinking, and ideas, because you don't know how you are powerful and how to use your skills because you don't know, you want to stick in your previous fields, and it doesn't work. And yes, of course I recommend to everybody, and I hope the government expand this program for all the immigrants, and all the immigrants have a chance as the same as me to participate at such a very amazing program.